Hi class. In this video, we're going to review how to tag certain items and components within a view. So you can see we are working now in an elevation, and we're going to be going over how to tag the doors and then also the storefronts in this view. One thing to note, you can see in this view that some elements are appearing a little funky. Always keep in mind that there is these tools down here that say the course level or the level of detail that you're working with. We want to make sure we're in fine. And then we always want to make sure we're working in hidden line. What it also appears to be happening is the elevation is cutting through the deck, which we do not want. So I'm actually going to move the cut plane back. So the edge of the deck is aligned with these columns more or less. So I want to make sure that they are recessed. The view plane is recessed from that so that it's not cutting through, but rather just viewing it. So if I go back to that view, now we can see a nice clean elevation. So in order to tag components, we're going to be working under the Annotate tab. Simply, we are going to click Annotate, Tag by Category. And as you can see, a little symbol comes up when we highlight over certain components within the model. And that's simply because it's trying to read the family information of whatever it's being associated to. When we're doing door tags, a good system is just simply to have the tag over top of the door without a leader line. So if we go over here under the Properties tab, we can click or uncheck leader line. You can also see that feature underneath this top bar here. If we uncheck that, we can see that now it is no longer providing that leader, but rather is simply placing it over top. Once we tag the element we want, you will simply see that it just places it on that feature, and then we're good to go. Now, if I were to cycle through using the tab button to find the correct thing that I want to tag, here I'm trying to tag this window or storefront. I'm going to click it, but this is actually not the tag that I'm looking for. Under the properties, we can drop down, and because this is a storefront, I actually want to select Anno storefront tag. You can see it will change it to a different symbol. We will get into further about what these symbols mean, but essentially they will relate to our schedules in our project. You can right click and just hit create similar, and now you can go through your project and tab as needed. One thing to note, if you saw it placed it right in the middle of the storefront, and that's because it's always going to place the annotation right in the middle of the component that you are trying to tag if it does not have a leader line. So since we're just trying to tag the storefront, we can move it over here. A good practice is to try and have all the tags in generally the same height and also the same location of the storefront so that we can see it all the way across. We can create similar and tag the doors. And we're just going to go all the way across the elevation. And we're going to want to do that for all the openings, all the glazing, and all the doors on our elevation view. Just as a representation of what the leader is. So if I scroll through here in place, you can see that this symbol, the same symbol was created, but now there's a leader line that is connected. So you can move it around, but it's going to be connected to the perimeter. There's a couple different things you can do. If you do not want it to be connected to the perimeter of what you're tagging, you can simply click free end and it will let you move the end of it rather than be stuck to the perimeter. The other thing that you can do is create an elbow in the leader line so that you can move it around like this. So if there is an instance where you have a really tiny storefront and tagging is going to be illegible, you will want to utilize a leader line to do something like this to keep this annotation legible. Another type of tag we are looking to do for assignment number 1 is material tag. So under the tag bar up here, we're just going to simply click material tag. And you can see as we hover over different materials, the property value is going to change. So we have a B1, we have a B2. If we go over here, there's a B3. A good practice is to have the leader line straight if possible. So we want to avoid something like that. We want to try to align our material tags to keep it neat and orderly. And if we're going above, we can do it in this method here to look something like this. So you can see it's nice, neat, aligned, and we can easily read where the dimension lines are going to. And that roughly explains tagging. We're going to get deeper into this further into the semester, but this is a good understanding of the preliminary process of how to tag.